I'm not matching profiles, I'm matching people. Behind me is an old jail cell in the middle of the woods here. This reminds me of my podcast I did with Hykey. You know, he talks about it took him going to prison, spending time in jail to have time to spend with himself, to get to know himself.
It's really making the incision, you know, literally blocking out all the noise outside and really getting to know myself. Because a lot of times I'm finding out too many times that we're all running from ourselves. So when things get, you know, things aren't going right, it's easy just to bounce and not really take the time to figure out who we are and do the right thing. And so for many of us running, we don't spend time to be with ourselves and have those conversations with ourselves and get to know ourselves.
Yes.
For you, I almost call it like confinement. Literally, you were in a time in prison where you were able to sit down with the four walls and really, but get to know you spent that time to actually get to know yourself.
Yep.
Like you were able to quiet the world.
That was the time I needed. And I wouldn't change. I really wouldn't change it for the world, man, because I know that I needed to put myself in an atmosphere, in a situation where I could transition and evolve and become a man. And being out, you know, in the world around the same people, being influenced by the same things. At the time, I did not have the willpower. I didn't have the discipline to separate myself from that life. It became so ingrained in my mind and who I became as a person that it became second nature to me. So to be snatched out of the environment by force, I'm almost glad that it happened, because I had a chance to sit down and say, hey, okay, now I almost look, you know, it's more of a stain on my record, but I looked at it as more of a clean slate, because it gave me a time to get away from everything and to figure everything out. It was almost like an exhale type of moment, like, okay, finally got my mess finally caught up with me. Now I can sit down, have a clean slate, figure all this stuff out. And a lot of people don't realize this, but man, there are some good people in prison. There's some real, I surrounded myself, and it's funny, I got to prison and decided to surround myself with good people. It was weird. I mean, these guys would give you the skin off of their back if they considered you somebody that they could trust, or they could, you know, sit down and talk to. They would do any and everything for you. And these are the type of people that I was around every day who would give me, you know, godly advice, just worldly advice, how to carry myself as a man, how to act like a man, how to get away. And the kind of guys that were also in there that I used to hang around with on the street, these guys were in there for the second, third, fourth time. So it was like, I was like, put two and two together. That's not what I want for my life. And I know if I get out of here and keep doing this, it's going to be my second, third, fourth time. And I want it more for myself, man.
Do you think there's a level of comfort when they keep going back because that environment feels almost natural to them?
It's called institutionalized. It's called being institutionalized. And people go back to get out of prison and go back to the same stuff, the same reason why. And honestly, a lot of people don't realize prison and in the military is almost kind of the same mindset. That's why a lot of people, they like that structure. They like already have everything set out for them. They like, when you're in prison, you don't have to think much. Everything is given to you. Your bed is given to you, just like the military. Your job is given to you, just like the military. Just your food, you don't have to worry about anything. So I think you're right. That becomes a level of comfort and normalcy for a lot of people, and that's why they end up going back.
And although we're not in prison right now, a lot of us are spending time at home. And what a better time. There's no better time than now to spend time getting to know ourselves, spending time with ourselves, blocking out all the outside noise. You guys, we're not in jail right now. We're not in prison. You guys got to look at this as a good thing. Time to spend time getting to know yourself.